The Nikon ZR caught pretty much everybody's attention due to its low price and its feature pack, but in this video I'm gonna tell you, after testing it for a couple of weeks and even months, what is great about the camera and what you should know before buying that camera. Coming up. Hi guys, my name is Paul. I'm a German-based cinematographer, and this channel is all about filmmaking, gear reviews, but also DaVinci Resolve tutorials. So if that's something that you're interested in, consider subscribe, and please also consider to come to the Creator Summit. It's happening on the 17th of January. It's one of the biggest creative events here in the German area. So we will have around like 300 people to come. We will have mostly every camera manufacturer. They are showcasing their equipment. We also have a huge giveaway of loads of gear, so it will be great. I will link it for you down below. So I was fortunate enough to be one of the first persons who was able to test that Nikon ZR here in Germany, and I've shot a little project with it, and I used it on a couple other occasions alongside with my Red, and also did a bunch of in-depth tests here in the studio and outside, and I have a pretty good understanding of what this camera can do and what it can't do. First, let's talk about the body. As you can see it, the Nikon ZR is pretty small, but it feels really high premium. So the materials are mill weighted. It has this rubber feeling which gives kind of a nice grip, but honestly it's also hard to hold because the camera body is just so small. One of the biggest annoyances for me is probably that there's not an actual switch on the camera, so there's just this button, so you never know if the camera turned on or off or something like that, even though it boots up really fast. Then you have here your 3 custom buttons. That's just all you have. And then on the other side here, there you have your ins and outs, and there's the micro HDMI port, which is kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. And also, for such a video focused camera, I would have wished that there would have been more threads on the camera, because we just have this one on the bottom here. So to properly secure a cage, that would have been better. The biggest pro feature of this camera is the 4-inch screen. It's really bright, it's brilliant, I really like it. So this one is really great, and I hope that every new mirrorless camera will have that. The Nikon ZR has a 6K sensor. It's able to shoot RAW in 6K 60p and doesn't even overheat in RAW. So this is really great. It has a bunch of RAW codecs: Red RAW, ProRes RAW, Nikon RAW, so you can choose whatever you want. And this sensor is also really great because it's the same that Sony is. It's a Sony sensor that also Lumix is using in the current S1 II, and also I think in the Nikon Z6 Mark III it is the same sensor. So it's pretty fast, so the readout speed is around 9 seconds, and the image quality here is great. And it also is stabilized, and I really liked the stabilization. It's not pretty much on par with Lumix when it comes to working, but for normal handheld shooting this works amazingly well. So also in low light the sensor is pretty great. Now let's come to probably my biggest feature of that camera, and that... Stop! Before we gonna move on, I have to shout out a big thanks to Artlist, our today's sponsor. And I'm not only saying that because Artlist is our today's sponsor, because I'm personally using Artlist since 2019, and I started using their music only. Now they have sound effects, now they have stock footage, and you can also create your own footage using AI, photos and videos. So that makes personally Artlist for me the one-to-go platform where you find everything that you need as a creator. I think I found everything there. I use it for my client projects, for commercials, for corporate work, everything. Check out the link in the description. Basically there you find 2 months for free with using this link, and I personally really like Artlist. Artlist has basically covered everything for you. So thank you Artlist for sponsoring this video, and you're gonna check that out. Can record Red RAW internally. It's really great. If you pull it inside DaVinci Resolve, it's exactly the same. You get all the same adjustments that you have on a Red camera. This is really amazing, and you see directly that the red colors are in there, and you also see that the colors are different if you switch over to ProRes RAW or to any other flavor. And honestly, Red RAW has the best colors here inside this camera, and that's probably one of the biggest selling features of it. It's really great. Unfortunately, there's no compression option as you have on other cameras, so it's pretty much on par with the newer DSM-C free bodies when you hit MQ, so medium quality. So it's gonna be pretty high. A 10-second 6K 24p clip will run you about 1.7 gigabytes. So yeah, you have to use a big CF Express card in that matter. And since we're already talking about the codecs, here's also one of the biggest cons I found of that camera. So you have all these different options here, and for one, inside when you switch to H.265, it's very much compressed. There's such a high detail loss in the H.265 that it looks really mushy, and I probably wouldn't use it because it just doesn't look good at all. There's so much camera processing, noise reduction, compression going on, so this isn't really great. And also CineD found that out. Just check out their latest talk where they're talking about the camera. They're explaining that in depth what is going on here. So that means, unfortunately, that you are stuck with one of the bigger codecs like ProRes RAW, Nikon RAW. So the file sizes are huge. As great as it all sounds, I think there's much more to a RED camera than just having the colors inside. So the great thing about RED is also the ecosystem and how it basically works and how easy it is to operate a RED camera basically. And I don't have that same feeling here on that camera, because also the exposure tools are very limited here. So there's not even false color, and you just have a very small waveform that you can judge exposure from, but it's not really ideal. So there are not these goalposts that RED have, and also not the focus features, gyroscope. So all the great tools that RED offers to make your life as a filmmaker so much easier aren't in this camera, unfortunately. I quickly already mentioned the low light performance of this camera. It's really great. You can use it up to ISO 12800 easily, even in RAW, so this is really great. One thing that I found which was kind of annoying, if you switch to ProRes RAW and you want to film like low light scene, you get this noise flickering in the image. I don't know what's causing that, but it was an issue that also was in the Z6. So I hope Nikon will address that feature pretty soon, but luckily in R3D I didn't see any of that. Now also talk about dynamic range. The camera claims to have like 15 stops, and in the over and under exposure test I was around to 7.5, almost 8ish stops in the over and under exposure, so in the latitude. So that's pretty much on par of what the Komodo does, but it falls behind like cameras like the Red Dragon or something like that. But for a modern mirrorless camera, I think this is a really great, and the image rendering and also the highlight roll-off and everything looks really great on that camera, so I really liked it. So in the end, what is my final verdict on this camera? I really like it, and also the price makes it really attractive, and I think it's a really great option if you are already a RED owner and you want to have a solid B camera or a solid C camera to have inside your RED camera bodies to cut it in between. That works really well, and also like a little crash camera and so on and so forth. But I have a little bit of kind of mixed feelings if you want to use it as your main camera, because although the screen is great, there are some features missing here, and also with the H.265 it's not, take it with a grain of salt if you want to use it as your main camera. So this is my final verdict on that camera. In general, I really like it. I just wanted to point out that there are some features that this camera is lacking and that I hope Nikon will address. And yeah, all in all, if you have any further questions, just drop them down in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe, and I'm gonna see you in my very next one. Cheers!